You see, one difficult situation to be in is when you realize that you're no more on the same level with your partner. Aye! That thing can pepper, like academically, spiritually, morally, mentally, emotionally, sexually. Should I continue? You know it happens in relationship or in marriage, yeah? So both of you are no more on the same pace. You guys are no more going on the same pace. Maybe academically you're here, your partner is here. Maybe socially as well. Maybe your partner is now awkward. You know, that kind of thing. I know this situation will bring a lot of problems in the house because he doesn't see things the way you see them, or you don't see things the way he sees them. That thing can be frustrating, sha. But guess what? I have solutions for you. So today we are talking about the challenges of not being in the same mental space or level with your partner. And when we say level or mental space, we mean academically, spiritually, socially, sexually, morally, everything. That's a challenge that people often face in marriages, because one thing, change is always constant. And when we talk about change, some people are really not that progressive, and some people don't change easily. So it's normal, right? It's normal, it could happen. You might be on a fast pace with your career, your personal development, your spirituality, your religion, your social engagement, and your partner might be a little bit sluggish. And guess what? They might begin to think that you're too extra, you're too they do. This is my wife or this is my husband, depending. And that thing can be frustrating. Guys, I know it can be frustrating. But see, I have about 6 steps that you could actually try to strategically use to see if, your situation could get better. But if it doesn't get better, shall pray, because what God cannot do does not exist. Okay? But okay, let's talk about these steps, shall we? Number 1, know that you cannot change anybody. Yes, you cannot change anybody. The only person that can change someone is God, or if the person himself or herself decides to change. Just shall know that. Because, sometimes we try to manipulate our partners. We try to force, our opinions on them, especially when we think that our opinions are the right way to go. Again, who told you that your opinion is the right way to go? Let's not even go there. But just shall know that you cannot change anybody. You can talk to someone, you could make someone see reasons, and then give that person space to actually evaluate and accept to change. Because most times the frustration we'll have is we've used manipulative ways to change our partners and it don't work, and then we feel so frustrated because in our mind, this strategy I used would have worked or should work, and then when it doesn't work, eventually you're super frustrated. So shall know you cannot change no one. Number 1. So when you've realized that it's not on you to change someone, then go back to the evaluation board and evaluate yourself. Know thyself. Number 2. Shall know the things you as a person can tolerate and the things you cannot live with. Because sometimes social media or peer pressure or the environment or society could make us begin to confuse ourselves with what is supposed to be acceptable in the society. Now, sometimes maybe you as a person, you know that it's not so much of a big deal if my partner comes home late. Sha, yeah, I mean, as far as he has his own key, sha, he shouldn't wake me and the kids up, something like that. But because you've heard your friends or you've seen on social media where people say, it's never okay for my husband to come home after 10 p.m. It's never okay. So you now begin to actually adapt that in your home, whereas personally it's not even a problem for you. You know what I mean? So shall evaluate yourself. You see all those challenges you have with your partner. Shall begin to just ask yourself, okay, which ones are the ones that I can't do without? And which ones are the ones that I can manage? You know what I mean? There are some in all those things that you have made so huge that when you actually reflect, you will see that, you know what? I'm actually stressing myself for nothing. I'm actually using the societal standard here. Whereas personally, this is not a problem for me. And that one you can actually solve by neglecting and then focus on the little ones you think is a challenge. Yeah? Then when you've done this evaluation of knowing thyself and knowing, your do's and your don'ts, the third one would be for you to have a conversation. Most times in our homes, we don't talk. We don't discuss with our significant other. We don't. We bottle things up. Maybe because we're afraid. Maybe because we don't know how to communicate. Maybe because we've tried to communicate and we are tagged extra or tagged nagging or tagged difficult. So it makes us feel, well, let me shall not talk. When I talk now, I'll be misunderstood. No, you must talk. Oh. You have to continue to talk. Because when you don't have conversation, your home will be flat. You guys won't even understand each other. You won't even know where your mental state is at because you don't have conversations. Now, most times we also don't know how to talk. Talking to us is shouting. Talking to us is arguing. But that's not what we're talking about. Sit in a quiet moment. You know your partner now. You know when he's ready to listen or when you are ready to listen. Shall look for that particular beautiful moment to have a conversation. Honey, see something I'm struggling with. What do you think? Allow them talk. Don't just talk over them or talk alone and then expect them to say anything. Allow them to talk. Converse. That's why it's a discussion. Have conversations around this. And after you've done that, seek help. Number 4, seek help. Go for therapy. I know in this part of the world, we don't believe in therapy. Okay, even if you don't want to go to, a therapist, what of maybe your spiritual leader? What of maybe your uncle, your dad, your mom, or somebody your partner listens to? Could you just talk to them? Somebody you trust, of course. Somebody you guys have actually consulted, Tell them your challenge. You never know. Maybe they would actually make your partner see reasons, with you in that particular situation. And after you've done that and, you're still confused as to, okay, is there change or not? Evaluate the whole situation. Okay, this thing was like this month. Now we are in end of the year or 6 months later. Has there been any change? If there has been change, okay, is he okay here or is she okay here? Can I delete this thing out of my challenge and focus on these remaining ones, right? Now, when you've reevaluated the process, the most important one, which is the 6th one. Be patient. Most times we are not patient with ourselves, not to talk of our partner. Remember, love is patient, right? Love is patient. Be patient. Be patient because change takes time. I'm sure your partner is patient with you as well. So try to be patient. Don't be in a hurry because you've said it once or you said it twice. Oh, he or she has to change. No, be patient because it takes time. Habits takes time to change. Be patient and hopeful and encourage them with your patience. You'll be shocked what would happen in a year, in 2, 3, or 4. Okay? I know it's challenging like I started with, but guess what? We could actually get better if we apply these steps and hope that God will come through for us. Comment if you've ever been in this situation, if you've had a situation where maybe you think your partner, maybe you were going through the process of having children and you think you're no more as progressive as your husband and he gave you a little bit of complex or vice versa. Comment and let me know what your experience is. You never know, you could be helping the next person. But regardless of all this challenge, remember to always hang in there for the very best is next. Love you. Ciao. Mwah.